So to create a histogram in StatCrunch, we open up our data, and we're going to go to Graph and select Histogram. Suppose I want to create a histogram for the weights. This is the NFL player data for 2016. Select weights, and let's just take all the defaults and press Compute. And so this is a histogram for the weights. I can hover over any bar and it'll tell me what the bin width is. We're at 175 to 187, for instance, in that bin width, and I have a frequency of 151. And again, I can always select if I want to know what these 4 values here. I can select those values, and it'll show up here in my data set. Let's go back to Options and select Edit. I can also, if I have a particular bin width I wanted to start it at, if I wanted the bin width, for instance, to be 20, I can press Compute, and that will change the width of each of the bins. Just change that back. Perhaps I want to group. Maybe I want to group by position. Press Compute. I can also put the values above the bars. I can overlay normal distribution, put mean markers, etc. I can add some dividers. If I want to put multiple graphs on the same page, I can do that. So for instance, I have 23 different positions here. Here's the center position. And I can just scroll through the different positions and see their histograms. Now if I wanted to, let's go back to Options, Edit. And suppose I did want to compare 2 or more histograms on top of each other. I don't want to do the position, that's just too many. 23 histograms on top of each other, you wouldn't be able to see very much. So let's group by level instead. I think I just have 4 or 5 different levels, how many years they've played. And if I want these on top of each other, first let me see how many different levels there are. Looks like I've got 5 levels, so I can see them this way, which is fine. But much more insightful, I think, is to see these on top of each other. And let's use the same, we'll put 5, same X and Y axis. Press Compute. Okay, so we see 1 to 4 years, 13 or more years, 5 to 8 years, 9 to 12 years, and rookie. And I can see how these distributions compare with each other. So one of the problems, right, with using the same y-axis sometimes, if you have very few, we don't have a whole lot of players that are between 13 or more years. So we really don't, it's hard to sort of see that distribution of values. So there's always a trade-off when you begin to fix axes and things like that. So if we wanted to change that, I could use same y-axis, press Compute. And perhaps I'm more interested in the shapes of each of the distributions rather than comparing their relative heights. So again, always a trade-off when you begin to fix the axes. But just showing you what sort of options you have available. Okay, let me show you a somewhat advanced option for the intro class, using the where clause to sort of restrict some of your data. So for instance, in the weight, perhaps I only want to look at the weight of my rookies. So I just use the build clause. And I say, you know, I'm going to look at weight where the level, so you click add column, equals, and then we select what we want down here, in this case, rookie, and press add. And then press OK. I'm only going to have 1, so let's just put 1 here and press Compute. So these are just the rookies. And again, I can select, if I wanted to investigate some of these, I can select this lower. I got 2 people here that hit the lowest one, and I can see who they are, how many years, etc. So I hope that helps.